In our last episode, we talked about the history of the Galant VR-4 and how I found mine. Then we took a close look at it inside and out, and then went for a ride on my own personal rally stage. Now it's time to get down to business. We got the car good and dirty on our test drive, but it's the years of dirt and grime that will take real effort to strip away. In our last video, we laid out our short-term plans for this car, and first on the list is to give it a thorough restoration inside and out. So the question is, will we find a diamond in the rough? There's only one way to find out. Let's get to work. I decided to start my cleanup job inside of the car, so the first task was to rip most of the interior out. When deep cleaning a car like this, you can get things like the seats, trim pieces, and carpeting much cleaner by simply removing them. If your carpet is dirty, but in good overall condition, I find it best to take it out of the car rather than trying to shampoo it in place. To remove the carpet, we start by chucking out the floor mats and any other loose items that will get in the way. The seats are next to go, and after removing a few bolts, you can lift them out, with the help of a little muscle, as the driver's seat weighs in at a hefty 47 pounds. Oh, and check out these seat bolts. They look like brand new. Thank goodness for rust-free Southern cars. To stay organized, I like to keep all of my hardware and small trim pieces in Ziploc bags. I use a permanent marker to label the bags, which ensures that I won't be hunting for the right hardware when it comes time to put everything back in. And don't forget to gently remove any and all dream catchers from your interior, as they can be very tickly. I'll put this in a safe place for later use. After removing the front seats, it was time to unbolt and remove the rears. With all the seats out, the automotive crime scene investigation can begin. This is always fun and kind of gross, as you're never quite sure what you're going to find. I found pens, pencils, business cards, receipts, photos, loose change, chewing gum, and I honestly have no clue what this is. Now it's time to remove the bevy of trim pieces that will allow us to extract the carpet. Door sill trim, kick panel trim, and the console will all need to be removed. Don't forget to keep track of all your hardware. I also pulled out the aftermarket stereo, but more on that later. After a bit more work, we're left with a big pile of interior parts. Now it's time to remove the carpet, being careful not to break any of the various plastic clips and fasteners that secure it in place. New aftermarket carpet is an option, but if your factory carpet is salvageable, it's worth the time to clean it, as nothing will fit as well as the stock molded one. Next, we move to the trunk and take out the carpet, spare tire, tools, and jack. It's not too grimy in here, it just needs wiped down, really. Heck, I don't think the spare tire or tools have ever been used. As I'm working in here, I keep getting glimpses of how difficult the exterior detail is going to be. Look at this caked on dirt hiding in the cracks. Ugh. Back inside the car, I got one last relaxing finger massage in before chucking the steering wheel cover. This will be kept with the Aloha Edition seat covers and this shave ice maker I found under the seat. More money, yes! That brings our grand total up to $2.03. With the carpet out of the way, we can now see what kind of under-rug grime we'll need to deal with. Upon closer examination, the sheet metal is surprisingly hairy. Seriously, was this car used as a mobile barber shop or something? I also found this, stuff and this little gem hiding under the carpet. Next, we took our dirty old carpet outside for a deep cleaning. I like to get the carpet off of the ground by propping it up on some folding chairs and attaching it using big binder clips. I used no detergents, just warm water and a few passes to get the deep grime out. Just keep washing until the water coming out is no longer brown. Thankfully, the trunk carpet only needed vacuuming, so that was easy. While the carpet dried in the sun, I used some mild interior cleaner to wipe down the entire dash, door panels, and any other dirty and dusty plastic bits that I could find. I also used this cleaner to wipe up the hairy floor pans, which came out looking like brand new. Then I used copious amounts of leather conditioner on the factory seats. After just a couple passes, I was surprised at how great they looked. Thank goodness for those flowery seat covers. I also wiped out the trunk and replaced the spare, jack tools, and carpet. The interior carpet was nice and dry after a full day in the hot sun, and it looked like brand new. I've done this on quite a few cars in the past, and I'm always amazed at the results. Back in the garage, I wasted no time putting the carpet back in, followed by the mounting clips, hardware, and other trim pieces that hold it in place. After that, the console gets reinstalled, but before we finish that up, I decided to replace the loosely installed aftermarket stereo with the period-correct factory unit. It looked pretty bad when the original owners handed it to me, but after a bit of detailing with some rags and brushes, it looks fantastic, and in my opinion, is far better than the fussy CD player it's replacing. Bolting it in was easy and led us to the next task, which was screwing on a new OEM second generation DSM leather shift knob, which is much heavier and feels far better in the hand than the stock VR-4 shift knob. Our last to do on the interior was to bolt the seats back in, which was easy, especially since we kept all the hardware and trim pieces organized. They just needed a quick cleaning before being introduced back into our super clean and beautifully restored interior. So here's a look at the end result. I honestly could not be happier with how this all turned out. The hard work and time was definitely worth it. Thanks for watching. The next time you see the Galant, we'll be working on restoring the exterior to see if we can return this Japanese classic to glory both inside and out. Also, come by and say hello over on the Turbo Garage Facebook page. You never know what you'll see there. So with that said, thanks again folks. We'll see you next time.